Hello, my name is Pravin Thompson. I'm your indie support specialist and co-community manager, and I'm here with a hot seat answer for you. What hot seat is? It is something offered in our IndiePRO community, where if you have a marketing question that you feel is very specific to you and you need a team member to answer it, yeah, click the bottom right-hand bubble of your training vault, and within a week, a team member will send back a video. Now, this is my first time doing it because this question was really good, and it's also something that I do. So I really wanted to answer it. And this is from our community member, Geneviève. Geneviève has been in our community for quite some time. She actually was the very first question in Hot Seat many moons ago, which was super cool. She does a lot of cool stuff, so I'm excited to dig into this question. Hello there, team of wonderful creatives. Super sweet. I would have a few questions here, social media related. I was under the impression that there should always be a visual attached to anything I post. Sometimes I want to just express some thoughts and share them to the world, but it's hard for me to find images that would work with them, especially if I lose myself in a philosophical spree. How would you handle this? Should I just post a picture of myself chilling on a park bench or smelling a flower? Should I make a short video instead of writing posts like vlog style? Should I look for stock photos of like baby ducks? I really like that. I think you should. That's the answer. Um, and how many times would you suggest a week should I post for a healthy social media presence? Thank you very much for helping a social media newbie. Um, well, let me answer this backwards. Mainly because I did this video before and totally forgot to answer that question. Um, I would say I think ideal is I ideally like because I work on like two different platforms and I'm starting to do TikTok. TikTok feels like you really need to be on there daily. That was like Ed's suggestion, though it is easier to post content on TikTok. Instagram, I generally like my bandwidth currently is like posting once to twice a week on Instagram and once to twice a week on my Facebook page, and I try to curate for each. Ideally, you should do maybe 3 times a week on Instagram, or not, honestly, because you can also just boost a post and like do that. Like it, I did a video on Full Stack Creative about burning out because I was posting like 3 times a week, and to be fair, like I would um really pay attention to your bandwidth because you want this to still be fun. Um, yes, we are marketing. Yes, blah blah blah, social media, all the things, but like you still want to have fun with this, and you don't want it to feel like a chore. So I would start with where your bandwidth is, because if you try to force it, you're gonna burn out. But honestly, like what I did for a while was I would just post once a week and just boost it for 5 days. That's what I'm doing currently on my Facebook page, and IG. I'm testing out a lot of cold traffic stuff. So it's a little open ended. I would start with your bandwidth, like once a week at least. It's probably I think the bare minimum for IG and Facebook. IG probably a little more often. Um, but to dig into the meat and potatoes of this question, because I do the same thing. I go on philosophical rants. Like that's very a part of my brand, and it's very important to me in general. Like I like some debate or just conversation. I don't like getting political, and I don't want to use the term spiritual because that's overloaded. But philosophical is like a good way to put it. Like I like asking very emotionally driven questions and asking people how they relate to the world and stuff like that. Or once in a while I go off on rants. And the way what I would suggest is you don't necessarily need a visual for everything, but that also just depends on what platform. So on Facebook, I love to just write. I love writing in general. So I'll just write out a copy and I won't add any photo usually. I'll just write out copy and just see how people react to it. I like to lately I've been doing shorter statements that kind of beg for people to put in their input. Um, but once in a while, I have gone on like a spree and just let people. People generally don't have big responses to those. They kind of just want to support you, but you don't need the visual aspect for that. However, for Instagram or TikTok, you want anything you post to feel native to that platform. So let's go through each. So covered Facebook, you don't need the photo. Text is great. People read text. People react to text. And my Facebook page personally is poppin' and the best thing in my ecosystem. So I personally would not write off Facebook just yet. I am working on the newer platforms because that I want to get them all equal, but I wouldn't write off Facebook just yet. There's like still a lot of people who use it. And for stuff like this, generally like older audiences like writing. So older audiences are on Facebook. They like writing, they like reading like longer posts. That's kind of what Facebook is made for. So I recommend that. Instagram, I, Instagram, you do need. I think the visual really helps. If you just kind of have like download your story and just have that copy, like if you write it all out on your story or take a screenshot of notes, I don't really. I don't. I tend to not dig into that. Generally on Instagram, like something I did, like personally, like I don't really like the like I try to avoid the someone like posting a high definition like clearly photo shoot photo and then all this like post copy about believing in yourself and all that stuff. I hate that because it just feels like someone's talking down to you. They have this pristine photo in this like crazy wilderness landscape, unless it like feels really a part of that brand. Like someone like Shay posting like a beautiful picture of I don't know, like landscape and stuff because she's very active and she talks a lot about how she loves nature and hiking in her brand in general. So her posting something like that and then having like emotional ad copy or post copy, that makes sense. What I've seen is a lot of people posting like very elaborate photos, clearly very well edited photos that cost a lot of money, and then like I don't know, you kind of get lot. I feel like there's like a mismatch there because you're being vulnerable in your ad copy, but then the photos, this high definition thing that like this like super well produced thing that like it's really to me it's jarring. Um, Something I've done is like I think about like I want this photo to feel as vulnerable as my post copy. Um, 'Cause people do read post copy. Like people still read stuff. The vlog video is great. I haven't really ventured in it, but that's also super great. But like if you don't want to do that, if you just want to write, which like personally I love writing, I like think of a photo that like a fan like if you're gonna do a photo of yourself, think of like a photo a friend would take of you. Think of a photo a fan would take of you when you're just kind of in it. Like I'm not saying post photos of you crying, but I'm saying like think of like posting something that matches the copy. Like for instance, I paint my nails. They're terribly chipped right now. I actually really like it when my nails get chipped. I'm a guitarist, so it's impossible. They get chipped all the time. And like months ago, I posted a photo of just like my nails chipping, and my copy was all about me accepting how weird I am and like me accepting failure and blah 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 blah. It's like about accepting the imperfections that you are and letting them be your artistry. Like that was the gist of it. And that did really well, and that felt cohesive because it wasn't a good photo. It was all about the copy. So I would suggest that, like really thinking in terms of that way. like when you're thinking of visuals that could work. Um, Now, TikTok is a video based thing. Instagram is also going in a video based direction. So it is normal for people to read like a lot of TikTok text and have video behind it. That like the vlog style thing would work the best on TikTok, or like getting creative with it, like finding videos of you, like I don't know, band videos or something, like, and like really curating it. Whatever you do on TikTok, if you want to do that same thing on TikTok, it's that same vibe with that photo I'm talking about for Instagram, but like you really want to dig into that and figure out a video version of it, or like it still should feel very vulnerable. Um but like in general, people do read text. They will sit there and rewatch the same TikTok, even if it's super long copy, and they'll just rewatch it until they can read the text. And by people, I mean me. I do that all the time because I'm like, what is this person saying? I think the vlog style would probably work the best on that. But whatever you do post, it has to feel native to each each platform. So I hope that gives a little insight into, at least that's how I think of things. Personally on Facebook, I don't like adding a picture. I feel like it gets distracting. Like I'm trying to like talk about some shit. Like I don't need the picture. Instagram, I want the visual. I want the visual to feel cohesive with the copy, but like it's about the copy for the most part. And as Instagram gets more video based, I mean, it is quite video based at this point. It would probably be, you'd probably want to follow that model for TikTok of carving a very vulnerable video, um, and just putting the copy on that. But people still read copy. You can also depend on your stories. People will sit there and rewatch a story, or like put their finger down to make sure the story doesn't go away. Just read the whole thing. Like it just depends on how often you do it. And also like how endear where your fan base is at. Um, I recommend just testing this on all three platforms, seeing which feels the easiest and most fun for you. Like for me, I personally just like I'll write a long thing on Instagram or on Facebook, then I'll like make a shorter version of it and like post it as like an IG story, or do ad post the photo that doesn't always go to my Facebook page. I don't always move everything from Instagram to my Facebook page. Been realizing I want it to be more curated and to really feel like its own thing. Um, and experiment with doing it on TikTok. TikTok feels so. I haven't really messed around with their ads stuff yet, but I for the most part, like I treat TikTok just for cold audience, so that might be a little too much. I don't know. I on TikTok, I my main focus is just cutting up parts of my fan finder and just posting out, posting out, posting out. So like IG and Facebook, those are the ones that like I have a very very warm audience, and that's how I keep engaging them, and that's something that's very close to my brand. I'm definitely rambling right now. I'm going on a philosophical rant, so I'm gonna stop myself. And I hope this helps. And thank you for being part of our community. Take care.